Everyone. Hello. Sorry I'm a little late. I had to give some love to my dog. Bear with me a moment while I try and get on my iPad. Hello, hello. Good morning. Hopefully you're hearing me okay. This says upcoming. There we go. Boom, boom. Okay. Yeah. Hi. Good morning. I have glasses on. I'm having some issues. And we'll see if I can actually function with my glasses on. So good morning. Good morning. I want to see comments. So let's flip this around. Goodness, I'm like all not ready this morning, am I? Okay. Hello, Susan. Good morning. Welcome. It's good to see you here. I am not ready for the day, but you know what? It's okay. I decided that I wasn't going to show my face. I actually came in my room at like 7:30 and hello, Kim. How are you? I came in my room about 7:30 and started designing for my online class this morning. So 2 cards I didn't get done. We're going to do a one sheet wonder, but I'm also going to do a fun fold. I actually was watching Rose Ward this morning from Stamper's Delight. You can find her here on YouTube, Facebook, Rose Ward, Stamper's Delight. She also has, I think, a blog and all that good stuff. But she made this awesome fun fold that she found done in metric measurements, and she converted it to imperial measurements. So I'm excited. So I'm going to share that with you. It's pretty intense. And I'm loving it. It's kind of got a pop-up feature in the middle. I don't really get into all these fun folds because they're very time consuming a lot of times, but this one was really super easy to follow along after she, tweaked it and did everything she did. I kind of adjusted how I did my design. I used different designer series paper than she chose in her video, but I also am using the perennial postage dies instead of the banner dies that are new this year in the catalog. I do not have them. They're a bundle with the big, large alphabets. They're on my wish list, and I will eventually have them because I think they're great for doing banners and for all occasions and to just have in your stash, even if they retire down the line. It's just a good investment. They're a little pricey, so I'm kind of saving up my rewards to be able to get them a little less and plus with my discount, so that'll be awesome. Fun announcements that I was supposed to come to you and say to you this past week. So today is August 3rd. On Tuesday, August 5th, they are having, and I will post more information, they are having an in color sale. And actually, let me just, before I lose what I got going on here, let me just go to the Stampin' Up website because I didn't print any of that information. Wow, my stomach just growled. That's crazy. I haven't eaten breakfast, but that's okay. Stampin' Up. This is going to take me a minute, but I want to give you all the right information instead of the wrong information. It's always nice to have the proper stuff. So if you could bear with me while I find this after I get signed into my demonstrator stuff. So what's everybody been doing this weekend? It's absolutely gorgeous here, nice and comfortable. I know today is going to be a little bit warmer. Where is my, there it is. Okay. It's going to be a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. But, oh yeah, it's the beginning of the month. So there's that. All right, let's click on this. 15% off. Starting August 5th, select products that feature the new 2025-27 in colors are 15% off. It's a great opportunity to purchase new in color products at a discount. And you can grab products you love like ink, two-tone cardstock, and designer series paper. You get everything you need to create projects that showcase Stampin' Up's amazing color coordination. And get everything you need to create all those wonderful colors. So it is just the 2025 at 2027 new in colors, which consist of Beautiful Secret Sea, the Timid Tiger, which is a fave of mine, Strawberry Slush, and Darling Duckling, and that beautiful cloud cover. Now, I don't have the ink pad, but there are ways for you to get ink products such as the In Color Stamp and Write markers. You can get that cloud cover in that. There's cloud cover, I believe, in the blends, Stamp and Blends. I have not purchased any of the In Color. Hey, Bonnie. I have not purchased any of the In Color Stamp and Write markers or the blends. So those are on my list, and I'm crossing my fingers they're available for all of us to, I'm looking for myself here and I'm right there. Goodness gracious, get your stuff together. I have my coffee. Woohoo! Yes, Bonnie, we are cruising. I'm excited about that. I have to get my cruise paid for. I have to put a big chunk of a payment on this month. So we'll get there. Cloud cover spots and re-inkers work really well. And that is, I don't even know, can we still buy the plain re-inkers without ink in them? I know that there's a set of, is it 5 or 10 ink spots that you can get? But yeah, you still can't do that because it's the configuration of the ink pad. My belly is rumbling. Holy cow. So if you are joining me, again, my name's Mary Jo Snyder. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States in upstate New York, Finger Lakes region. I have my coffee, smile with my beautiful camera on the other side. That was a gift to me several years ago from some of my team members. I love it. And set of 5. The plain ones, Bonnie, that don't have ink in them. I need to really study what's out there, but I don't usually do that. So I have a lot of stuff that's retired that I still use too. Thank you. So I have lost my train of thought. We were talking about cloud cover. Oh, the cruise. Yes, have to get that paid for. And it's okay. The thoughts will come back at some point. We're going to get busy and do this fun fold, and compliments to Rose Ward. I will tag her in my video later after I am through, and I will share it to Facebook and tag her there as well. Kudos to her. I know she just did this fun fold the other day, and I'm really excited that I found it this morning. I fell in love with it. It is a very bulky card, so if you mail it, it will require extra postage, and maybe even you would want to put it in a small padded envelope, or it's one of those cards that you can stick in an envelope and give to a friend in person. So there is that opportunity. You change the sentiment. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It's just beautiful. You can use different designer series paper. You can use stuff that you have in your stash. It's great. So anyway, we're going to get started. Cheers. Like I said, I wasn't going to show my face this morning because I'm not ready for the day, but that's okay. I'm going to share some stories about yesterday. It was wonderful, but let's get you pointed down to the table and look forward to that sale starting on the 5th. And another benefit, again, I'll throw that out there, is a starter kit deal. Now, the starter kit you can get, and then if you, as a demonstrator, getting the starter kit allows you, in the beginning, a 20% discount. Hello, you get a 20% discount on stuff that's discounted too. So you're double dipping, and it's so wonderful. It's the best part of being a demonstrator, aside from all of you who are watching me. That's what I was going to say. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscription button. And if you would do me a huge favor and be commenting, it helps with the algorithms, and hit the like, give me some love with some emojis, whatever the case is. It doesn't cost you a thing to support my channel. It just allows me to be able to grow my business and reach more people and share my creativity. And that's most important. Plus I meet new people, and it eradicates my own loneliness. So I love coming to you every week. And I was bummed that I didn't get here this week. I fell asleep on Thursday when I got home from work. It was exhausting. I started going back to the gym. It's been a busy week for me. So, but anyway, let's get crafting. We're gonna reverse the camera so you don't have to look at my non put together face. Stand up and make sure we got a good spot here. We're gonna zoom in just a smidge because I don't want you to miss anything I got going on here. I am using some blends with the lined images in this product suite, and we again are using that Painterly Pears Suite. So I've pulled out some ink colors. I've got Old Olive. I do not have Mossy Meadow, only in the blends. My Mossy Meadow always gets crystallized because I don't use it enough. So I had to throw away 2 ink pads. So I just improvised. Besides, Old Olive is a lighter shade of Mossy Meadow. If you were to stamp Mossy Meadow and then stamp off, it looks exactly like Old Olive. So that's how I improvise with my Mossy Meadow. Okay. I love the color. I just struggle because I don't get to use it enough. Of course, fall is a perfect time to have that color, but you know how that goes. So, all right, we have our Mossy Meadow blends, Pecan Pie, and I did grab Daffodil Delight. You'll see me struggle with one of these markers because it just wants to explode on me. So, all right, welcome everyone who is watching. I appreciate you being here. All right, so we've got all of these inks going on. I've got my stamps that I'm using on my blocks. We've got this. I've not finished it. I need to decorate it, but it was a work in progress. And this is the fun fold feature with the pop up in the center. Is that not adorable? And then on the back side, I did not adhere this down completely because I had some bleeding of my ink. I tried to lift it and it just kept bleeding. And that is because I'm heavy handed with things and I didn't allow things to dry before stamping. So I will replace this with another piece, but this is where you would write your greeting. And you've got those decorative things on the inside. And of course you can use whatever you want to do to decorate this. Good morning. Yes, I love this suite as well. And of course I tossed in some Winkostella, if you can see that, just like Rose Ward did on hers. So I hope you enjoy this. I've done some pre-cutting, pre-coloring, and all that good stuff. So let's see what we can do this morning with all of these goodies. You have a piece of basic white. It is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the back side of your card. We've got 3 pieces. Well, I did do pre-stamping, but I am going to show you how to stamp and color my pears. Perennial postage, and I'll show you the size of these. I've got this one and this one. And I will show you the size when I get to that point because I do have to do stamping and cut out another piece with the perennial postage. I have 4 of these pieces of designer series paper that are squares that are 1 3/4 inches. So I picked the same paper and I'm just going to layer them however I want on the inside of my card. So there's 4 of those. I have 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 4. I have to measure this, 4 by 4 square. These layers are all, now you got to make sure it's directional too. So these layers are all 4 by 5 1/4. That's the back side. I could do the back if I wanted to instead of doing that, but we'll see how I decide to go. Piece of cardstock for your card base, which is 5 1/2. Hi, Lisa. Hey, Lori. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I'm going to score that at 4 1/4. And of course, I did do some pre-stamping, so I have that, and that's going to go on the inside of my card. So I'll put that with those. I have this. Now the colors in the designer series paper are actually Darling Duckling, I believe. But I don't have the blends. So I ended up improvising and using Daffodil Delight. And this is the leaf die cut image that I will use for the inside of the card as well. So all those elements will go there for now. Some are for the outside, some are for the inside, but I don't want to lose track of them. So the first thing I want to do is just go ahead and layer my papers. So let's grab my scoring tool without spilling my coffee. And I'm going to lay this here, and I'm just going to score that at that traditional 4 1/4 mark, which is right in half. And I'm going to fold that. Again, Rose Ward, thank you. Kudos to her. Very inspiring watching her video. All right, so we've got that. We're going to go ahead and layer, and maybe I will. Nah, I'm going to stick with the same way. All right, so this is directional paper. So I want to make sure my pears are hanging in the right direction. I'm going to grab my liquid glue. I found out why this was leaking, not leaking, but getting clogged is I end up pushing too hard in that hole, and I ended up creating a hole on the other side, so it was drying out on me and getting clogged. So I fixed that by switching it out. Thank goodness I had extra, right? All right, so I need to fill it. I just love this because I struggle with the dotting method because I'm very heavy-handed with the regular Tombow applicators. This gives me just a thin layer of adhesive and makes me very happy. Make sure this is going the right way. So this is my top layer. I'm gonna have to take my glasses off because even with bifocals, I'm struggling. My eye, I went to the eye doctor. I was having some serious, not serious pain, but my eye was hurting. All right, and this, I could do this, but I'm gonna stick with the back side. I like kind of more the not so bold stuff because I don't want to take away from that pop-up element and the layers that are going to go there. So I went to the eye doctor, and I still have to go get my meds. It's crazy when you don't budget for things, unexpected things. So I haven't been able to get my eye drops, but I will go get them today. So again, we're just layering the inside of this card with these layers. I think the toughest part is the mechanism to do the pop-ups, but now that I did one, it shouldn't be easy, and I got some notes to go by. If you are interested, Rose Ward does newsletters. I have not gotten that far. I have 2 people that subscribed. I just need to get my acting gear to start that process. So I acknowledge those, thank you, that have requested my newsletter. I just need to be sure that I have my ducks in a row with everything I want to share with you. So, all right, for now, we're just going to put that glue away. And now that we have we've got our outside, I need to do that side, and we've got our inside. I'm going to set this aside for now. And we are going to, first, I'm going to stamp the outline of my pear that's going to go on the outside for that sentiment piece or greeting piece. And I'm doing my outline in Old Olive. Again, I just lost my train of thought, but that's okay. I've already used these stamps. They've got Versamark on them. They're seasoned and ready to go. So this is going to go down in the lower corner, and I see there's a dog hair on it. And that's okay. It didn't really interfere with anything. And then we are going to do our 2-tone or our 2-step stamping with Granny Apple Green. Now, if you have Stampin' Right markers, you could color these and whatnot. I am just going to do this because this is a distinctive stamp. So it's going to give you the shading that you need. So I was talking about my eye. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So that's going to give the shading that you need. I'm just going to let that ink soak in a little bit, as well as the pieces on there that are going to give you kind of that highlight in the sunshine. I like that. All right, so we've done that. Again, I'm going to open up my Old Olive again. I will get back to my story. And my Old Olive will be the outline of this, which I'm just going to attach right to my pear. I just thought it looked kind of naked without having the leaves and the stem. Now I'm going to put that aside so I don't mess up when I'm coloring. So that can dry, and we'll move on to the next phase of stamping. Okay. I will need a piece of white, a scrap piece of white, which I did not grab. So bear with me as I find a piece. I know there's stuff here because I was just using it. Where, oh, where are you? Well, I don't think they're going to fit on there. Remove stuff in the midst of things. Oh, that's okay. I'll get that later. Let me find in my Oh, I think that was it. Is that going to fit the die first? Let's see if the die is going to fit there. So I'll pull in my perennial postage dies. And what I ended up using for the thank you on the front of the card is the very smallest one here. And for the outside of the card for my pear, I used, oh goodness, the largest of this size. And I think, oh, that's going to be perfect. I got a little smudge mark there, but I can come in with my sand eraser and get that off. Perfect. So now what I want to do, I should actually die cut this first. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll know the canvas that I have to, oh, let's hope I just didn't transfer ink to everything. Goodness gracious. Pay attention. All right, pull up my Big Boss. If you have questions along the way, please let me know. Feel free to share my video. That makes me happy as well. And again, this is an online exclusive product suite called Painterly Pears. Find it in my online store. Online store is right here. You can find anything I'm using that is not retired in my online store. So, all right, with that, we've got our die cut image. So we're gonna color, if I can get that off there. Stampin' color, I should say. We'll put that back. We'll set this on the floor again. Someday I'll get my little die cutting cart all organized as well. It's just one thing after another. So yes, my eyes. My eye has inflammation. I don't have anything else going on. Let's see. I'm looking at comments. They're passing me by so quickly. Yeah, so there's inflammation in my eye. It's not like pink eye or anything like that, but it's a little sore. Almost feels like it's strained. It's muscular. So I went and had it checked the other day, and yes, it's inflamed, and I'm supposed to be using drops, and I have not been to the pharmacy to get them. So, all right, outline of my pears, an old olive, and they're going to go down a little bit lower on this perennial postage piece, like so. And then I will grab the Granny Apple Green. These will be like Bartlett pears. How's that? And again, distinctive stamps. Tap, tap, tap. You don't need to go crazy. I might need to hover over this, which I do for placement. And if there's any white area showing, I'm going to show you how to fix that when we use our, not too bad, when we use the Winkostella. So now I'm going to come in. That needs to dry a little bit. So what I'm going to do is do the mechanism for the inside pop-up feature. So with that, I need my scoring tool. Thank you everybody joining in, and for all of those catching the replay, totally appreciate you. All right, I find it easier if I only have to do 1/4 of an inch to come in from this side, because this gets in my way and I have nowhere to put my finger. This way I can hold this. So I'm going to score that at 3 7/8. Do a 180, because I'm going to score the other side at the same spot. Okay, so you have your score marks on those two sections. The next score you're going to do is you're going to line up. You see I have at my 6-inch mark, I have a dark line that I did with a Sharpie. You don't want to line up corner to corner. You want to line up score line to score line in that track, and you're going to just score from the score line to score line. You're going to flip it, and you're going to do the same to the other side. So you're going to create this score line of a big X. Okay. Now, when you're done with that, you're going to come back over and let me open up my card and make sure I got that right. Yep, you are going to do a score line. You're just gonna go from score line to score line. So you just want to, in your 2-inch mark from the score line all the way down to that score line. So it kind of looks like that. First one I messed up a little bit. And then you're gonna do some varnishing, but it's really super easy once you see how this goes together. All right, so these fold in. And you want to make sure everything is varnished really well. Okay. And then unfold that. You are going to, and it doesn't look very even, but I swear to you, it's going to work out. Just varnish all of those folds. And of course, you want to varnish towards the mountain side. So you got all of these. And now, when you go to do this, you're going to see you have to kind of play with it a little bit. Like so. It's going to start folding like this. So the straight line in the middle have going horizontal. You're going to fold this. It's going to come together, hopefully. It's going to feel really tight and awkward. Wow, I did good this time around. I don't want to jinx myself because there's a whole lot that I still have to do. So you have this. You have this mechanism. And then if you were to come this way, it would do the same thing. But what you're going to want to do, you want to make sure that these sides, which I'm going to have to fold the opposite way, towards the inside. Those sides are going to fold towards the inside because that's what's going to get glued to the inside of your card. So let's bring our card back over. And actually, it might be easier before I put this on the inside to color my pear. So let's finish coloring this and add it to the back side. So with that, I'm going to grab my light. No, I start with my dark. And I only use this tip. And I do kind of, wherever there might be shading, kind of, even though there's not lines of it, because usually Stampin' Up! Is very good about giving us the lines we need. And this is where I kind of screwed up, but I'm going to come in. So that's my darker, and it's like the chisel tip. And then this is my lighter. And if it's a small area you're not comfortable doing with the paintbrush end, you certainly can, like I went out of the line there, but I'm not going to fuss with the color lifter because I don't want to make it bleed. You can come in and just kind of blend out those lines. Just don't be too harsh with the blending because let me just, help me Lord, make sure this works out. I'm just going to dab that area there. It looks like I helped it a little bit, as long as the color doesn't bleed outside of it. It's always important to purchase a color lifter when you are using blends. So there's that. We are going to grab our Wink of Stella, because why not wink it up, right? Yeah, I was really impressed with watching her video this morning. I'm like, why not just introduce this to everyone and then introduce y'all to Rose Ward, because she is so amazing. She is a very talented, I'm going to get some more. I got to get me another wink. Very talented artist. And she also does scrapbooking Sundays, I believe. So there's that. All right, we're adding wink. And then I need to use my lighter. I decided to use the lighter of the pecan pie. And then I'm just going to dot. I usually dot when it's a small, thin area because I have more control that way. And that is going to go on the outside of the back of, I'll set those back there. of our card. So I'm going to adhere that now so that it's all done and we don't have to worry about it. Yes, I love her too. She is the one when I was on stage, I think in Connecticut, where she stopped in the hallway. She's like, I know who you are. And I was like, I know who you are. But it was really cool because she had seen me on either Facebook or YouTube or something. So it was kind of cool. Usually I'm in awe of all those people, and she was like introducing herself because she must have seen a video or something. So, or maybe I was even commenting on her own videos for that matter, but it was pretty cool. All right, so now we have that. We've got all of our pieces lined up there, layered, all that good stuff. Now, with this mechanism, the line across is going to go across, like the horizontal line is going to go across the inside of the card. So, and this is going to help when you're folding it together and all that good stuff. But what you want to make certain of is that these are folded in the opposite way, because these are going to adhere to the inside of the card. So what I'm going to do, and I'm using my Tombow in my precision tip tool or bottle, because I could use tear and tape, but the tear and tape is wider than, unless you happen to have one that may have come in a paper pumpkin kit, but it's wider than the 1/4 inch that is there. All right, so we have that, and what we want to do is center the point here in the center, that where all those score lines come together. I'm gonna hope I did this right. You want to center that in the middle of your score line of the inside of your card. Now what I ended up doing is taking a big block, which I know I didn't put it away, and laying it on top of this. At the moment, I don't know where it is. I just had it. It's probably right in front of my face. But just reinforce that. You want it to stay where it needs to. So you can put something heavy on it, like a bigger block. Did I put? I did. Oh, bear with me. I'm reaching. Okay, maybe not. It's here. We're just going to put down an ink pad. It'll be fine. Just give it that weight it needs. I'm going to get these out of the way. All right, so building the elements that are going on the inside of your card, you're going to take your 2x4 pieces of paper. Hey, Robin, welcome. And let's move this. I'm going to grab my scoring tool. And this is, I love using this versus my paper trimmer. All right, so we're going to score this in half at 2 inches and the other one at 2 inches. And of course, we're going to fold those in half and varnish them. All right, now we are going to do these like a booklet. Okay, because that's how they're going to end up folding. And you'll need all these little cut pieces with the exception of your thank you or whatever sentiment you decide to use. Right? Yes. And I'm going to pick what I want from the back of these because they are going to be the opposite side. That's perfect. Got a nice pear there. And we've got pear and flowers. I think we'll use these 2 pieces. So we are going to do opposite, and I want to, excuse me, adhere these to the inside of this little kind of mini card. Uh-oh. So we got that pattern design. It's very subtle against the mossy meadow, but it does have old olive in it, and that's just the back side of the paper that I'm using. And then I'm going to take one of these pears that is pretty decent looking. Actually shows almost the full pear. And that's going to go on the inside of the other side. Okay. We're going to finish this up and we're going to do the opposite to this one. So we'll do the pears on the left, or the more bold design, whatever you decide to use for your paper. That's going to go on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to adhere that patterned piece to the right-hand side, like so. So you've got these, and they need to go like this. We'll decorate them after we get them on our folding mechanism. So this should fold in, right? You're gonna work. You just might need to work with it a little bit. And it's gonna come together and it's gonna be really super bulky. Just squeeze it together. Got some glue on there. Squeeze it, reinforce it, and when you open it, boom, now it's perfect, right? So we're gonna add adhesive to the top triangle, the entire thing. And we are going to avoid, you want it to be with the seam of the card, with the score line of the card, but you also want it, and I'll just reinforce this so it's sealed. You want to make sure it is above that score line, so you're not interfering with the way that's supposed to fold. And this will have to dry, but that's how it's going to work. Okay. The next one, you're going to do the same thing. I prefer to put the adhesive on the folding mechanism or the pop-up mechanism, so that way I know I have the adhesive where it's supposed to be. Make sure this is facing the way it's supposed to. It will be opposite. Again, below that score line, with the score line of the 2x4 lined up with the fold line of the card. Okay, so we've got that. This will take a minute to dry, so we'll set it aside again with reinforcement on top of it, but that's how that will fold open and pop up that fun stuff. So what else do we need to do? We need to do some coloring of this. So we'll do that next, and I will again put my ink pad on there, pull all these little pieces over, and grab my blends. I need Mossy Meadow and my lighter of the pecan pie. So first we will add some Mossy Meadow, and I'm gonna just kind of add to the center and a little bit to the base of the leaf, as if the sun is shining on the top of the leaves. I don't need to do that. I can just follow the lines that Stampin' Up! Has given us. Come in with our lighter shade. I'm going to do the chisel tip, or whatever you call it. And we're going to color and blend out the darker. Blend out the darker. So you're seeing how I'm doing this, and I'll show you the flowers too. I'll stamp those so you can see how I did those, but I'm not going to need them because I already did them and cut them out. So there's that. And then we'll take our light, oh that's dark, our light pecan pie, I already had it out, goofball, and use the chisel or the pointy tip. And I like to, again, if there's a small section, I like to just dot because it helps me stay in the line. So dotting is a great thing. Gives you more control, especially if you don't have a steady hand after drinking several cups of coffee. And I will come down, even though that's filled with green, and I will add some of that pecan pie. I'm just going to show you. You can see here around the edges that the stamped image, I didn't quite get it lined up. So I'm going to, what happens when you grab your Wink of Stella, you can pull, because this is water-based, right? I believe. Yes, because water and water will help you move ink around if it's water-based ink. So I'm going to add some Wink to these pears and just kind of pull that ink to where that white is, just to kind of glide that color. Even though it's not full color, it will give you the illusion that there is a lighter shade of green there. And of course, Wink of Stella is beautiful. You can come up here. Now this is alcohol and water-based, so it's not going to do a darn thing because your blends, it's not going to, you know, pick up the color because you have blends. And we're going to go up this way and do the stem, and I'll show you this when I have it all set. But just that little hint of Wink really makes it look beautiful. Just kind of gives it, hopefully you can see that. Just kind of gives it a little bit of shimmer and shine. Okay. Now the perennial postage dies that I used this one for the sentiment because it fit the sentiment that I was using. I used the larger one for this image, and I also used, no, hold tight, this large one. All right, I used this one, the very largest one of that rectangle, and I used the smaller one to cut out my Granny Apple Green, and we're going to cut this in half. Okay. Hopefully that helped you, but you can decorate yours any way you want to, just to give it your own vibe and flair. So that's the inside. We will decorate that as well. Actually, let's do that part first, and then I'll show you what to do on the outside of your card. So Rose Ward did use dimensionals to pop these up on the inside. I myself am going to use Tombow because I don't want them to be popped up. The card is going to be bulky enough, and if I want to mail it, oh yeah, Rose Ward is where I saw the idea, Robin. Before I mean, if I end up mailing it, I don't want all that extra bulk, because if you add the dimensionals, it's just going to be even bulkier. Now this, so I put that in with the more of a subtle background. Now this I want to use for my flowers. So what I'm going to do, I mean, I could do it like this and trim it, but I decided to keep this stem here, cut off these flowers, and then cut off down here and add the flowers to the top of that stem. So we are going to trim that, and I don't know where my paper snips are. So we're going to trim that with my icky adhesive scissors. And I believe I trimmed it right to there. So this is what I had left to fit into this one square. Okay. This is going to get some glue. Now you could also use adhesive sheets. Very smart for this piece right here. But I love my precision bottle. This has made me have a very more loving, respectful relationship with Tombow. So yeah, I've been deciding to do videos more on YouTube, Robin. I would love to get some type of program that will allow me to share in both locations. And I know Celine did that the other day. She's learning how to do it with a specific program, but I also have to be able to afford it. So for now, this is how I'm going to roll. This gets cut in half, and there are 7 little edges right here. So if I go down the middle one, that's going to be my halfway point. You just have to make sure that you are holding it still. So there's that cut in half. And then I'm going to take a very fine line just on the edge. And if you heard my stomach, my apologies. And I'm trying to space this so that it's got the little circle, half circle showing. Does that make sense? I'll show you. See how it's a half circle? So that way I line it up at the same spot on the other side. So we've got that. Another thin layer. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So that way you know where to line it up. And it is the top circle. And you might have some adhesive overflow. It's okay. Not a big deal. But that's how I came up with my little fun thing for the front of the card. Now you're going to reinforce that with, I have more to do on the inside. Actually, let's get these flowers on there. And then we'll add some gems, and that will be our card. And I like to add them like this because that looks like it's kind of sagging downward. So there's the floral images. Put that away. And you could save your leaves that you cut off for another project, or you can discard them. It's entirely up to you. Now, I need dimensionals, which I found. Paper pumpkin leftovers. So why not? And I'm going to reinforce where those are held together with the glue. I'm using a lot, but it's necessary, in my opinion. Center and up here. Okay. So we are going to remove all the backings. I like to, you don't have to, because it really just needs to lay the same height. But this is how I roll. We're going to close this. This is going to get centered on the front of my card the best that I can, like so. So we've got that. Looks pretty good. And this also is going to get some Tombow. And I'm going to lay this right there just to give it that pop of Darling Duckling and to add my sentiment. And do we have more to do? I want to add some gems. So let's grab those beautiful sequins. They are the low profile sparkle dots. Let me cover my glue. This went very smoothly. I'm very excited. Guess when you build it, you right before your video, you figure out how to do it right after. All right, so we've got these. Yes, beautiful. They're in Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. So I actually want them to, what I'm going to do with the inside of these flowers, and I didn't show you how I colored them, but I did the dark daffodil in the center, and then I just kind of blended it out with the lighter daffodil. So take your pick tool, show your face, please. Thank you very much. I want to take the tiny ones. And actually, do I want to do that? Nope. I'm going to take these tiny ones and add it to the center of my flower. So you'll still see, come on, work with me. And this one is actually covered, so because it's kind of facing down towards the ground. So you have that. I'm not gonna do anything else on here. So I have those two gems on the inside, and then I will, on the outside, I'll use some Darling Duckling. And why not here? And there. Now you can add a bow with that pretty ribbon, but I already think it has enough bulk as we have this all set. But this is that fun fold. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So thank you again, Rose Ward, for your wonderful expertise in relaying this project using imperial measurements. So we've got that pop-up mechanism, and then that's where we can add our sentiment. And of course we did add Wink Stella to all these elements. I did not add it to the flowers, so I got ahead of myself putting gems on, but let's go ahead and add Wink to these flowers on the petals. This is where you have to be careful because also the outline is water-based, so you don't want that green old olive color to blend in. Thank you. Again, I love casing, and this was beautiful, so I'm excited, and it shows off that designer series paper. All right, so I have 2 of those all set. That's our first card. Now we're going to grab a piece of designer series paper, and I have not forgotten the fact that I have to do a paper pumpkin alternative. I have a really great project to share with you. I just have to keep working on it and then share and do all that fun stuff. So, all right, so now we're going to do a one sheet wonder, and I've already cut down the piece of paper, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So it's going to make 2 cards. We're going to put this together however it's supposed to go. Right here, nope. Right here, nope. I don't know. Right there, we'll figure it out. It's like putting a puzzle together. Okay, so we've got that piece. So this is your 6x6 designer series paper. So what I ended up doing, that goes there, and then this one flips and goes there. So I took this 6x6 piece, and I can't tell you the demonstrator that I saw this idea from. I cut it down at 3.5 or 3x3 directional, and then I separated it, obviously, and then I took this piece directional, turned it in my cutter, and I cut off 3.5. So now I have this here to build my cards from. I'm going to use the reverse side and these 2 pieces. You're going to get 2 cards from it. I will need extra supplies, which I did not grab, but I will now. I'm going to grab the Darling Duckling will be my card base. Actually, what I should use, nope, yes, Darling Duckling will be my card bases, and my other layer is going to be Secret Sea, because that is what this stuff is, and hopefully I have enough. I'm working on a project with Celine, and I don't want to lose what I got going on here, but I'll grab 2 of these. I need to place an order majorly. And of course, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators got to peek at the new September to December catalog, and we get to pre-order on the 5th as well. So another bonus. Okay, so 3x3, I cut it in half directional, 3x3. And then this piece I trimmed, so I turned it this way because that's our piece, like so. And I cut this at 3.5. So this is 3.5 and this is 2.5. So it makes your 6. Okay. So you'll turn it and cut this, move it over to your 3.5 inch mark and cut it. Yes, I need to figure out my pre-order too, but I'm trying to be frugal, which is very difficult. I have a cruise to, yeah, I have things. It's just never ending. Yes, 3x6 to start. So you'll put the directional pattern 3x6 or 6x6 and cut it. Do you want me to, I can show you in my trimmer, which I will do. Let me grab another piece of 6x6 paper because I do have one handy. Because I was going to show you the whole process and got sidetracked. Actually, let's do another color. Nah, I don't like that one. I want one with, I really have cut up some stuff here. How about this one? Nope. Bear with me. I know I just put this back. Oh, there it is. I can make 2 sets. All right. So here is my directional 3 or 6x6. I will grab my paper trimmer and throw stuff on the floor. And we're going to move this. This is directional, 6 by 6. We're going to cut this at 3 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to take this piece and turn it, measure it over to 3.5. So now I have 3.5 and 2.5. And I'll do the same with this piece, 3.5 and 2.5. So that's how you do that. Okay. And you're going to use the back side for the smaller piece because it's non-directional, hopefully. So if you have direction, it kind of makes it a little bit difficult. So now that I know this is 3 by 3.5, I am going to need cardstock. And actually, let me pull in, this is what we're going to use. We've got cardstock. We already know that they're 3 inches wide. Okay. So I'm going to go 3 1/4. And they are 3 1/4. 2 of them are 3 1/4 inches or 3.5 inches in length. So I'm going to do by, so we've got 3 1/4, and I'm going to do 2 of these at 3 3/4. Okay, that's our cardstock. And those are going to layer these smaller pieces or the bigger pieces. Okay, so we've got 2 of those. The smaller piece, we're going to need 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and you need 2 of those. And you can use any color that coordinates with your designer series paper. And that is going to layer on here. Okay, so I need one more that size. So let me grab another scrap, and I'll do 2 3/4 by, what did I say? 3 1/4. Now I have all the layers that I need for that. Yes, there's a lot of beautiful things in the new catalog, and I obviously have to keep my card buffet in mind and all that fun stuff. So I'm really excited about buying a few things because I don't know what I may even have from last year that carried over. Mostly because I don't think I purchased a lot last year. So it was right before that I resigned and then I came back. So anyway, we are going to score. We want to do 4 1/4. I'm sorry. We want our card bases to be 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So we're going to score at 4 1/4. So I've got my full sheet of 8 1/2 by 11. And I'm going to score the whole thing. Just makes it easier for us. Dropping everything. I really did start cleaning my room too. All right, so now we're going to cut these down to 5 1/2. Now we got 2 card bases that are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. We're going to go ahead and varnish our crease marks, our score lines. And set those aside for now. We're going to adhere all these wonderful things together. And I'm going to hope. So what you're going to do, that's what I forgot. One of them is going to go like this. And one of them is going to go like this. So you're going to pick whatever piece. I think I'll do this. And then that one will go with that one because I want the pear to show. So hopefully if you're doing this along with me, you're not adhering anything yet. Okay, so there's those. So one of them is going to show the pattern on the small one. The other one is going to show the back side. Okay, that's why it's so important if you have directional paper that you're doing this, cutting your paper in the right way. All right, so we've got this to layer on the smaller piece. I mean, this would be great with any of these colors in this paper to layer. Okay, so that is the Secret Sea layer. That's going to go on one card base. Then I'm going to take this section. Oh, which one do I want to use? I think I want to use that one over there. Do I? It's got more pink in it, but it will help it pop. So I'm going to use this one. And that's what you might end up doing, is kind of mixing and matching and figuring out what you want to do with the design that you want to show. So this is the reverse. And that's going to be for this card. So we've got those elements. Now we're going to take the larger. We're going to add adhesive to the back side of the subtle design. We're going to add that to the layer. Get all this stuff done first, and then we'll build our cards. This one here is going to get the subtle piece showing on the top. So you do only get 2 cards with this one sheet wonder, but that's okay. Nobody said you had to get 6 or 5 or whatever. You're just using all the elements of the designer series paper to be fun and bold on these card bases, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This one is going to go like this and like this. So you've got, of course, it's going to cover that. So I might even do mine different, right? Or you can layer them this way, which I think I might do. And, nope, I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to put this up higher and this lower, like so. So that's going to be like that. And then this one, doesn't matter how it's, this is initially how it's supposed to go. Well, I didn't put that on very well, did I? It's kind of crooked. That's okay. It would go like this. But I kind of like it off-centered, because then you can put your sentiment up here, okay? Again, I don't remember the designer, and we're not going to adhere that because that would be on backwards. So we'll take this first one, and you could always, if you want your bolder design to show, you could put this on over that. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to put this up in the upper corner because I love all that prettiness showing. And this one is going to go like this or like this. It's really your preference. I'm going to do it like this, long ways. Excuse me, set that aside. And then I'll do this one. Super easy. It's a great way to show off your designer series paper. Great way to do like a Stamp-A-Stack class if you're a demonstrator. It's really just a lot of fun. Just make sure you're adhering your things on straight. And that you're not gluing them upside down on your card base. So there's this one. I think the lines on that threw me off a little bit. And then there's this one. And now we will find what we need for our sentiment, which will be super easy. We're going to grab our Perfectly Pears set. And I think we can do one congratulations. See, this is how you can end up doing a Stamp-A-Stack. Excuse me. Gracious, drink coffee. So let me just snag a block. Peel some stuff off here. We've got congratulations. And we've got, that's too small. A good friend is a gift. Okay, let's close this up. And now you want matching colors. So we're going to go with Secret C. And I'm going to pull in the pops of white that are showing. So we're going to grab a piece of white paper that I'll be able to die cut using the label dies that are in here. Okay, there's 2 of them, hopefully. One may not fit, but we will work that out on a plain piece of paper, and I'll show you what she did. All right. So we've got congratulations. Woo, almost made it. Ooh, ooh. Let's season those up. Get our piercing mat. Set those back some. I stuck my finger in there. We'll do congratulations right there. And I'm going to hold off stamping that one because I don't know what I'm going to stamp it on. Oh, I have another piece of white. It's crazy how much paper I waste when I do stuff like that. But I never know what I'm going to cut it out with. So, all right. So we've got both of those sentiments cut or stamped. Now we are going to use, I know the congratulations is going to work with our long label die here. So we'll use that for that. So we'll cut that first, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with the other one. All right, so I'm going to try and do this without needing my tape, as long as I can find the top of, there it is, everything is everywhere. So you got layer 1, 2, 3, your paper, your die, and layer 3. Thank you for the love and all the compliments. Makes me happy. All right, so there's that. And now I will put this away. And we will find another die that's gonna, maybe I'll just cut. I know what I'm gonna do. Let me trim that down to about, I don't need this. Just love the projects. Thank you so much. I'm really loving this set, and I'm loving that I am totally not afraid to case stuff, because sometimes you just need to utilize someone else's talent, and it's okay. That's what we create for. It's such a great compliment. I'm gonna try and cut this down to, let me trim a little bit more off that side, like 1/8 of an inch. I want to cut this down to 3/4. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. All right, this is what she did, and I'm going to do it as well, even though this die may not be, or this bundle, shoot, whatever I'm trying to say, may not be still in stock. She took, and I don't know, no, I don't want that one. Hold tight, I got you in a minute. I'm going to use this. Must be it's, I got $15 on there. Must be it's not. But you can take a punch of anything from your stash. Now we know this is 3/4, so it's going to slide in there. And it's probably going to be too long. Maybe it's not. Make sure it's even. And then we're going to do the other side. And these are one of those banner punches. And that's okay. I think I like that long. But you can also take any of your punches that are not retired, or whatever, any of your punches, and you could, if it has a decorative edge here, you could slide that piece of paper in and get that decorative edge. Of course, this was too kind of rounded, but you can slide your paper in these, and like let me just show you example. You're gonna slide it in like this into that place where it cuts, and you'll end up getting like a rounded edge, or whatever the decorative section is, if it's not a banner punch. So there are ways to get fancy with dies, or I'm sorry, with punches instead of using dies. So that looks pretty decent. This one I think is going to go up here just to kind of tie it all together. And I think this is going to go I want it to pop there. I think I want it to go here, and then I'm going to add a bow of some sort. So that is going to be our card, and I think that I will pop this up with dimensionals, and I just happen to have a strip of dimensionals that's going to work perfect and fit nicely on this strip. The foam sheets are wonderful. I found out in the scrapbooking virtual album retreat. So we've got that on there. And then we have this, and I will grab again the dimensionals that I already misplaced. What is my deal? Keep setting things on top of each other. And there they are. And of course, these are left over from a paper pumpkin kit. And we're gonna do something fun with this one to kind of show a little bit more creativity with our ribbon, which is, someone help me. All right, I know it's here. It's right there, right where I left it after playing last week. Use what you have while I try to show new. Yes, we have so many great products. Show what you still, what you can still, show that you can still use them. Use your stash. It's so important, especially if there's things out there that you truly want to get your hands on, and unfortunately they're either out of stock or whatever the case is. It's so important to just love the stuff you have. This is where things are going to get tricky for me because I do not have any seal, because my seal, my last one I had, got ruined. And I struggle with that when it happens, but it happens. So I'm just going to put a piece of tear and tape there and lift that off, because I'm going to kind of do that Z to go under. And it's really going to be cool because it's going to show both ends of this beautiful ribbon, or both sides. One's super gold, right? And one is more subtle. It's got like less of gold on it. And then I'm going to trim this. I can't tell you what the measurement is because I'm going right from the roll. I'm going to trim this. You also could use your in color ribbon, which will be hopefully part of that sale. So remember that coming up. All right, so we've got that. And I'm going to grab this, lay this over just like so. And then we'll add some gems to that, but let me finish this. I'm going to add a bow to this one. So I can use my bow maker, or I can just do the bunny ears, because the bunny ears will keep the same pattern of my ribbon. If I can work my fingers. I'm loving my nails, but sometimes they create havoc for me. All right, we've got this. We've got this. Seriously, thank you. Just give myself a little more slack. Maybe tuck that in there. Pull that. Zhuzh it, however you need to. And it will, I can get my act together, show the same stuff going on here, like the lesser gold, but then you have the more gold in the center, and you would twist this so that it's going to have the less gold on that outside. So it really gives it a pop of gold right there. You can zhuzh this as big or as small as you want. And I think we're good there. I'm going to trim that. Again, I want that to be twisted, but maybe it's not going to be for me. Ribbon scissors. Trim. Trim. It's probably bigger than I want it, but that's okay. We can trim some more. I don't think I've ever crafted with my glasses on, so that's kind of funny. We're going to add this maybe right here. Look how that bow is going to go around there. There. Now we'll be better here. I'll put it right there. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to curve that much, but twist it. Might have to hold it down with a glue dot. So let's grab some glue dots. And we'll add our bow to the glue dot. Pick it up with our take your pick tool. Maybe. Wow, what is my deal? Hunger. Hunger is my deal. So we've got that. And I want that to be twisted, so I don't know if I can, to be honest. It's not working the way I was hoping. And I'm okay with it. It's fine. But there is a way to twist that and make it work. I am going to grab a glue dot or two to adhere this down. I just fold over my glue dot. It's not necessary to do this, but I'm gonna, because I really want this to be where it needs to. There, now I got it. And then I can come in and trim that a little bit more, so it's the length I want it. I love this dangle on my scissors, but boy does it get in the way. So there's that. And now let's grab our beautiful gems. My video has been a little lengthy this morning, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Actually, yeah, it has been. I don't mind. All right, let's get our gems and let's put some prettiness on here. So we are using the Secret Sea and the Darling Duckling, and I'm going to add the Secret Sea gems kind of all over here. 2 small, 1 big, as well as with this one. And we'll add the big one. I love these gems. Right there. And there you go. There's our one sheet wonder. And our beautiful fun folds. So I hope you are inspired by these projects. I'll let you know who I got this design from. Pretty, I mean, this would be great for doing Christmas cards, you know. You could knock them out with a whole pack of designer series paper. So let me flip you back around. I'm still looking the same. I still haven't gotten myself around this morning. But here we are. So here we go. We've got these awesome cards going on here. I can take a screenshot of this and share it in the image of this video. Thank you very much. And I hope that you enjoyed this and that you are inspired. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button. And yes, have a fantastic everyone. Thank you for being here, everyone. And thank you for those catching the replay. Super excited to share with you. Thank you, thank you. Many Stampin' Blessings. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's so crazy how the week goes. Oh, let me share really quick. So I went to the horse farm that I like to go trail riding on that is local, more local than going to Letchworth and Nunday to the other 2 places. They actually asked me to go yesterday because I've been volunteering. They had me volunteer the last time I went riding. And so I got to go volunteer yesterday. I was there for 5 hours. I got to brush horses. I got to love on them. They loved on me. Um, it's amazing how gentle those gigantic animals are. And of course, there's one that is retired Amish Mennonite owned, and she is a powerhouse. She's so tall. Her head is like 3 times bigger than my own. I actually posted a picture on my Facebook and my Instagram, so you could go over there and see them. My Instagram is moji_Snyder. And you can find me on Insta and you can take a look at my day yesterday. But I spent 5 hours there and I did have to shovel some manure. I did not care. And I was blessed to be able to go on a trail ride and be the tail end of the ride as a guide. So that made me very happy. I hope they continue to call me when they need me. It's sporadic, but I love that I can go there and I don't care what I have to do. First time I went, I shoveled manure for 2.5 hours and I did not care. I was just loving being a part of it and volunteering my time. These girls, I can't imagine, like they do this stuff every day and it's hard work. I was there 5 hours yesterday. I put in 13,000 plus steps. And of course, my exercise watch goes off when I'm on a horse as I'm exercising because that is hard work. You're on a horse and your leg muscles that you didn't know you had, yeah, you're hurting the next day. You think it's funny making fun of people that have bow legs? I get it, especially if they're cowboys and cowgirls. Hey, I'm just saying. But it was a wonderful experience and I can't wait to go back. 5 hours just in the company of these beautiful animals and the beautiful air and playing with the big old goat Lucas. So yeah, I can't wait for them to call me again to come help. So it's been a blessing this summer to be able to be a part of their community and to assist them. So, and if you ever want to go trail riding, their land is absolutely gorgeous. It is Mountain Rose Farm. Mountain Rose View or Mountain, either way, I'll share the link in this description of the video so you can check them out as well. They have Facebook and they have a website and they do have Airbnbs on their property. I absolutely love them and the girls are amazing. In their 20s, I want to say, running this amazing business. It's living their dream. So I love it. So that was my day yesterday. I was so blessed to be able to go and I was exhausted by the end of the night. So well worth it. So that's my story. Many Stampin' Blessings. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a fun-filled week ahead. Make sure you take time to craft and please share your creativity with all of us. All right. Bye for now.